and quantum physics. Like I have to be looking at astrophysics now to be understanding some of these cycles.
Wow.
And the Egyptians already knew. And I know they knew because I think that it is about past life recall.
Well, now, with their profound interest in knowledge of the stars, which was, all extensive, does our present star system align with any of their writings or carvings? I mean, is this period of time anything that would be reflected in the pyramids?
Well, actually, if anything, I think they knew that the bloodbath was coming. The way we have past life recall, I think they had future life.
Yeah.
Whatever the word would be. Premonitions, if you will. And they could see this was going to get real bad. And it is real bad. It's a bloodbath out there. It's a nightmare.
It is.
Okay. And so, in terms of the stars, we are coming to the turning point where we're going to move back toward the light slowly. But the minute we're moving toward the light, it's better than moving away from it where things get darker and darker. As it's getting darker and darker, well, you're in California, but up here, every little inch you go north, at this time of year, it's dark early in the afternoon and late in the morning. And the minute that we hit solstice, we feel relieved. Because one day later, we've got 1 more minute of light, and 2 days later, we've got 2 more minutes of light, and it builds. But it's inspiring to be moving in the proper direction. So the stars, what I'm doing is I'm looking at the supergalactic grid, the galactic grid, and the ecliptic meridian. Well, all of the meridians, actually. But there's more than one cycle. There's the solar system, there's the galaxy, and then there's the cosmos, universe. And all of the stars are floating through, but what's connected to which grid? And it's looking pretty certain that the pyramid fields, it looks like the pyramids are scattered, but they're scattered in clusters. And there's a sky-ground correlation. And I'm working on this, and I'm trying to test it backwards, forwards, and every which way to see, where the alignments went and what was actually represented. So it seems pretty clear that Orion's belt is the 3 pyramids of Giza, and Robert Bauval gave us that, and I think he's quite right. Everything looks like that one's in place. And it looks like Sirius would have been Abu Raush, and, the rest of it's coming together. But the point of the matter is that each of these huge cycles keeps the stars in a pattern with them. Certain constellations and certain groupings of stars are connected because they're within that realm, within that plane, moving in that big cycle. And other things, like our zodiac, fit along the apparent path of the sun, which is called the ecliptic. And that always hangs together because the sun is always doing the same thing vis-a-vis the Earth and the stages of the yearly cycle and various cycles. And so the zodiac is what's influencing us most when you think of the solar system. Yeah? But there's other systems. There's the galactic part. And so we're moving in huge galactic cycles, which are also coming to a close. So all of the different cycles are coming to a 0 point at the same time. So it's making like a cosmic ladder that allows us to climb in there's 12 dimensions, but it's not a 13th dimension. It's a whole other universe, right? And so once we go through the galactic center, it's the birthplace of stars. It's where the enlightened energy is. And so to demonize it all, I keep using that word, but to say it's doom and gloom and the whole world's going to fall apart, I say nonsense. I say the world already fell apart.
Right.
How much worse can it get, Lance?
I agree with you on that. It can only get better from here.
Well, that's why I think we're surprised, because in one way it's getting better, in another way the people that are controlling things are controlling more and more and more.
Yes.
But people are like, we all can find freedom within that somehow. They're not controlling, well, I was going to say they're not controlling the air we're breathing or the way we shape our day, but in some ways they are.
Yeah.
But still, we can find, largely with nature, with the reflection of light off water, with, a bird flapping in front of our eyes, something with nature usually can nourish our soul.
Yeah.
And the powers that be can't control that.
I don't think they care for things that involve love or other living things.
Well, I do, and you do.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I feed all the birds on my deck every day, and they come hopping and do their little dance, and they're just amazing.
Isn't that great?
So beautiful. I go out and I marvel at all these different personalities and different hairdos and different colors, and I just love them to death. And in fact, today I had 2 bucks and 1 deer munching on the grass right in front of my sliding windows.
Well, and that's a sign that something is positive, that the animals aren't afraid. I've been seeing, I think it's the same one, a hummingbird every day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I have that too.
And it's the same, and I know that hummingbirds come in a lot of colors, and this particular green one, zooms around, and it's almost like it comes to find me.
Yes,
It'll show itself in the window that I'm in and then zoom around the other way, and I'm so delighted with it.
Yeah.
It makes me so happy.
Yeah, it's like an old friend.
Yeah.
It's like an old friend. Well, now, another thing, I noticed you did a chart that includes the Kali Yuga and the various other yugas and the Mayan cycles, and then you've got the codes of the, the various Aries and Taurus and so on.
That's right.
Now, theoretically, we are in the Iron Age, isn't that correct? And that
Yes.
Okay. And so, does 2012 mark the beginning of the movement on the great wheel of life towards the next stage, which is supposed to be the next one is the Golden Age?
Oh, not so fast. It's going to take a while to get back there.
Okay.
Now, there's a lot of controversy about this, and you're going to read various things. But, Walter Cruttenden's done a lot of work at this, the Binary Research Institute. There's various people. And if you really research this, your head will just start to spin. But what I've ascertained, the Golden Age would have been 13,000 years ago, but what is happening is we're at the farthest point away. So if, in fact, we are in a binary star system, and this with Sirius, which does seem absolutely confirmed in Starry Night Pro because it's the center of the extragalactic grid, everything revolves around it. I'm in the process of making little mini videos to show how this works to explain all this, but it's a lofty process, and I want to make sure it's as simple as possible and totally confirmed as I come up with this stuff. But it is the next piece of work that I'm digging around in here, and it's very, very complex. But if it's a binary system, when we're in a golden age, we're the closest that we can be to this, and then it's an ecliptic orbit, and then we zoom out, and things go slower and slower and slower, and then when we reach the farthest point away, it's 13,000 years. It's the bottom of the Iron Age. And then as we turn the corner and start to zoom toward the center again, it picks up speed. So I'm making motions with my hands, and so it picks up speed, and then it touches the center and then moves away. And so we are at the slowest, most distant point now.
That's what it feels like to me.
And as we turn the corner, which is signified by December 21st, 2012, which is any minute, we come zooming back, and then we pick up speed as we're going. The closest point is the Golden Age. So it actually takes 13,000 years to get there. So we've been tremendously disadvantaged by history books telling us that we're only 6,000 years old, because we can't even begin to fathom that there's hope.
Right.
Or where that's going to come from. Doom and gloom, it's over, never mind, the whole planet will fall apart, the end.
Right.
Well, and not only that, there was never anything magnificent that happened. Where's your proof? Where's that? If you think they had a diamond drill bit, where is it? After, 3 world floods and 25,000 years.
Right.
Where's the diamond drill bit? I can't see it, so then you're wrong.
Right.
Like, that line of thinking is just so obsolete and silly.
Well, yeah.
And then they want to call us silly. But
yeah, exactly.
Okay, so we're still going to be in the Iron Age, but we're moving up and out. So then you have to go through the bronze, the silver, and the golden. Now, as it happens, golden ages last longer than the others. And so that's what you see in a disproportionate circle going around. And the whole thing takes 25,920 years, so we roughly say 26,000.
Oh, I'll be old.
Yeah, well, the thing is, it's still us. I mean, I think that, the recycle everything else, we recycle ourselves.
Right.
We can't learn everything all at once.
Right.
You said it, too, that you think that a lot of people, who are interested in this sort of material have an affinity for Egypt, Atlantis, sacred sites, and we do.
Yes.
And so why would we care? Why would it trigger us? Why would we be interested in it? It's because we remember. On some level, we remember. And I think that that's an excellent starting point for looking at all this material.
Oh, absolutely. Do you think there's any possibility that those beings who originally created the pyramids, wherever they came from and whoever they were, could return?
Well, we're here. I mean, I'm not saying that I had anything to do with building the pyramids. Yeah, maybe not hands-on doing the anti-gravity to lift the stones, but absolutely. It's often been said, I think Edgar Cayce was the one who said that there's a group of souls that came through in Atlantis, came through in Egypt, and came through now. Mm-hmm. And so, yes, and, you know, I've met people who say, oh, I know how they did that. I know what that's for. And off they go. And, you know, because I can sit in a listening position and, you know, and I also, you know, have had my own memories, I can listen to people tell me what I already know.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? So, yes, I think it's possible. And you know, I say it's harvest time for the black sheep. Most people who have these memories and these abilities are born into families that are completely ordinary and, you know, dense, if you will. Yeah. And they feel completely alone. So the last trip I had to Egypt, you know, like everyone was a black sheep, you know, that basically were in their families and wondering what they were doing there, you know, including me. And so that's why I say it's harvest time for the black sheep. I mean, you know, we are coming together. Yes. You and I have never met. Yeah. Right? But we have met. I feel I know you very well.
I feel I've known you all my life.
Exactly. It's our third interview. We've spent 3 hours together.
I know, and I feel like I'm talking to an old friend, and you know, and I am. Right. I am. Well, dear friend, I've been told that we have to wrap up the show. Those 3 hours have gone by awfully quickly. Yeah. Would you mention, again, where your site is so people can buy your DVD for Christmas presents?
Yeah, well, it's everywhere. Amazon.uk.ca for Canada and .com for the States. PyramidCode.com allows you to subscribe and see these pictures we've been discussing. And that's that. Wonderful. It's also going to be pay-per-view, pay-per-download within, 10 days or so, where people can get high definition per episode and either just watch it or then download it and have it, and you don't have to wait for the disc to come.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's a big coup.
I highly recommend all of your work. I mean, you're groundbreaking. Nobody has done what you've done so far, and with the love and... Well, anyway, I could go on and on and on, but they'll get the hook and I'll have a sore neck. So, thank you so much, Carmen, for coming again, and I do hope that it won't be too long before we're having another chat.
Okay, well, call me anytime. Thanks so much, Len.
All right, keep up the great work, and thanks everybody for listening.
Okay, thank you. Good night.
Good night.